We're back taking a look at some more NBA player props today on November 21st. This video applies to prizepicks, but also sportsbooks out there or other player prop websites out there. However, if you are not on prizepicks, I recommend checking it out. The link is down in the description below. I have a couple NBA player props for you, and I'll also be taking a look at some NFL player props in this video. I might have college basketball coming later today. That has been very, very good so far this season. But another reason to join prizepicks right now is that Justin Jefferson is at half a receiving yard for 82 hours. You have 82 hours to claim this offer. It's a free square. Justin Jefferson over half a receiving yard. When you use my code DOMG, you get a 100% deposit match up to $100 when you do use that code, or just click the link down in the description below, and that should automatically apply, and you'll get that 100% deposit match up to $100. We're gonna dive right into these player props for today on November 21st, but if you're interested in seeing the payouts that prizepicks does offer, you can take a look at that right here. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video, and turn on those post notifications so you do not miss future videos. But I have an NBA and I have an NFL player prop for you. But before we hop in, one final thing, super quick, the Patreon is available. I was profitable yet again over on the Patreon, mostly thankfully to NFL yesterday. NBA wasn't up to par yesterday. However, we did have a very huge night for NBA just a couple nights ago. 7-0 sweep just 3 nights ago. We have over 500 members available in the Patreon that are on the Patreon, but the link is available down in the description below if you are interested in the Patreon. But here's the full breakdown. If you are interested in seeing every single one of my plays, check out the Patreon. The link is down in the description below. There are 3 different tiers. There's NFL, NBA, and all sports. With access to the Patreon, you guys get every single play that I play, on top of these plays being ranked by confidence level and write-ups to go with every single prop that I post. Once again, the link is down in the description below, so check it out. So I went up 25 units that day with this 7-0 sweep, and I went up 3.38 units, I believe it was, last night, which was mostly thanks to the NFL, but we've been cashing pretty good with NBA so far this season. But now let's finally hop in. Just make sure you subscribe, and let's hop in here. So my main NBA play for today is going to be just a point prop. It's going to be a point prop that's available on sportsbooks, and I like DeMar DeRozan over 23.5 points against the Boston Celtics today. There's a couple reasons for this. Mostly on sportsbooks, you're going to find this at 24.5. So let's take a look at this right here. We're going to take a look at the odds starting off here for DeMar DeRozan. And stay tuned for the breakdown, and make sure you tail your own risk and look into these a little bit more on your own. He's 24.5 on sportsbooks. He's even at 25.5 on sportsbooks. Yet he's at 23.5 on prizepicks. Just some of the value that you can get on prizepicks. There's absurd value on prizepicks, I'm telling you. So again, the link is down in the description below. But 23.5 points right here for DeMar DeRozan is a discount compared to sportsbooks. Even if they are a little bit favored on the under, he's up to 25.5 on some certain sportsbooks. This will probably get bumped to 24.5 on prizepicks if I had to guess. But I do like him over 24.5 around that 105 spot, minus 105. I think that's a pretty good spot still. So if you're on a sportsbook, I do like him over 24.5 still, but still 23.5 is a very good place, I think, for DeMar DeRozan here, especially on prizepicks. So I like the spot for DeMar DeRozan, but we're going to dive in and take a look at this matchup and things like that. So this game right here. So this game is going to be at 8 o'clock today. He will be at home. It's a pretty big deal that he is going to be at home in this one. So I definitely like the spot that he is going to be at home here. He's expected to start at small forward. So expected lineup, he's expected to start at small forward here against the Boston Celtics. So let's dive and take a look at this matchup on paper. So if we take a look at small forward points per game to the small forward position, the Boston Celtics rank 14th in points per game to the small forwards. They're kind of right in the middle of the pack right there, 14th, a little bit on the easier side if you want to get technical, but pretty much right in the middle of the pack right there, 21.95 points per game to the small forward. So if he's going to play a little bit of power forward, you can take a look at that matchup, which seems to be a little bit tougher if he is going to play a little bit of power forward in this game, but he's expected to start at small forward. So I have the spot for him against Boston. That's pretty much one of the main reasons is the matchup and just the point discount on prizepicks. So if you take a look at how he's been against the Celtics in his career, he's already faced them twice this season. He's already played them twice this season with 25 and 46 points. So he's already been over 24.5 in both games against Boston so far this season with 33 and 36 minutes in this one, taking 23 field goal attempts and 17 field goal attempts. So you can take a look at what he did like literally last game though. He just destroyed the Magic with 41 points and 30 field goal attempts. So hopefully he keeps that same kind of pace going. Hopefully he's going on one of those streaks that we kind of saw from him last season. He had like a ridiculous run last year. I think it was like 15 straight games with like 25 plus points, or it was something crazy. Maybe it was 30 plus points, like 15 straight games or something. Someone can correct me down in the comments. If you're a Bulls fan, you should probably know. But DeMar DeRozan, I love DeMar DeRozan. I think he can definitely get this one done for me today. So we had he's hit this in 3 out of his last 4 games as well. The only miss was against Denver, where he only had 26 minutes and only took 11 field goal attempts. Hopefully takes a little bit close to like 25. I'll be fine with 23 field goal attempts like he had last time against Boston. So I'm just really hoping for a big number of field goal attempts. I think he will be able to get this one done. Hopefully he will be the main scorer in this one, even with Zach LaVine's playing and you got AO playing there, but still no Lonzo Ball. Won't have to worry about that. He'll be done for a while, I believe. But that is pretty much my main player prop right there for the NBA right there is DeMar DeRozan over 23.5 points on this prizepicks board. More player props will be posted on the Patreon later today. So they just don't have too many props on the board right now for whatever reason. They will definitely have more props on the board very, very, very soon. But I like DeMar DeRozan over 23.5 right there. Moving on, let's take a look here at an NFL player prop. So if you guys are into NFL a little bit, you guys will might like this one here. So let's talk about NFL here. So I did pair DeRozan and this player prop right here. We're never to receptions. We're gonna go to receptions here, and I'm gonna take a look at Brandon Ayuk over 4 receptions. Now Brandon here, he was trash last season. I'm sure fantasy owners know all about that right there. But Brandon Ayuk, he's been on a pretty solid run so far, at least in the last 4 games. He's had 6, 6, 7, and 8 in his last 4 games. So he's kind of soared over this in his last 4 games for sure, man, with 7, 6, 11, and 11 targets. So if he can have like those 6 to 7 targets in this game, I think he will be able to get this one done against an Arizona team that is allowing the 4th most completions per game so far this season. So it's going to be a really good matchup when it comes to completions per game. Just hopefully Jimmy Garoppolo keeps throwing the ball here to Brandon Ayuk. Hopefully they do throw the ball a lot and don't run the rock with Christian McCaffrey a lot of times, but I think they will be able to throw it a decent amount because he's been hitting even with Christian McCaffrey, of course. Like, he's still having those targets, 7 to 6 targets. I like the spot a lot here for Brandon to go over against Arizona in a pretty solid matchup. But if you take a look here at the odds, so the odds are something that I always use as a baseline usually for when I'm talking about prize picks. So I like to use it as a baseline to see what the sports books are kind of thinking, and they're all on the same page here at a plus 110 to go over 4.5. If you are in a sports book, I do like this at plus odds over 4.5. I'd probably say plus 110 is pretty solid over the 4.5. I don't know if I go a little bit less than that, but I love the spot here at 4 with the push potential at 4. I do like the spot a lot here on prize picks. He had that one loss against Carolina, where he had 3 receptions on only 4 targets, but that was the last time he went under, man. Otherwise, he pushed in that game right there. He hit in this game against Seattle. So he's been over this in 4 straight. I think he can definitely get this one done again against a really good matchup against the Arizona Cardinals right here. So he wasn't too great last season, but we could type in and see what he's done against the Arizona Cardinals in the past. So last season here, this is last season, he had 6 and 2. So towards the end of last season, he did do pretty solid in this one with 6 for 8 targets. Otherwise, in the beginning of the season last season, he was trash. He was horrible last season, in the beginning of the season. I remember that one pretty vividly. That's pretty much it right there for the NFL and the NBA player props. Make sure you always tailor your risk and look at these a little bit more on your own. But I personally did pair these DeMar DeRozan and Brandon Ayuk over 4 receptions. So I like both of these spots a lot here. More available over on the Patreon. Again, over 500 members. Just had a 7-0 sweep a couple nights ago. Up 3.38 units, I think I was last night. Mostly, again, thanks to NFL. NBA wasn't up to par yesterday. Just the first half props killed me yesterday. Usually first half props are usually pretty reliable for me, but yesterday they just hurt me pretty bad when it came to NBA. But thankfully, NFL came in pretty clutch for me last night. The members in the top tier definitely know that, but that is pretty much going to do it, man. I seriously do appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you subscribe, have those post notifications on, join prize picks if you've not already and are interested. If you take a look here, again, Justin Jefferson is at half a receiving yard. He's cashed this in, I believe, every single game this season. So I like the spot a lot here for him at half a receiving yard there. 82 hours to claim that Thanksgiving deal right there on the prizepicks board. Link is in the description below, or just download the app and use my code DOMG, and that's going to do it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next one. Peace out, boys.